Going on YouTube, it's No Fuss Giving Trey, back with another video, and today I'll be discussing the 100 reasons a Pisces stop caring overnight and the truth that nobody talks about. So oftentimes people say a Pisces loves hard, but what happens when they finally stop? Did they wake up one day and decide that they will not care anymore, or were they slowly checking out long before anyone noticed? Now I'm gonna break it down for y'all. And see, the very first thing is, why do you guys think a Pisces suddenly stop caring? See, now oftentimes it doesn't mean that it's going to be something right away. Oftentimes it's never sudden. See, so a Pisces can have been emotionally pulling away for a while before anyone noticed that they were actually done. So even if a Pisces tried, talking about the same issue multiple times, but nothing changed, as a result, then by the time the Pisces leave, by the time that person leave, they've already accepted it emotionally. See, now the next thing when it comes to Pisces, why do you think a Pisces stop arguing? Because they feel repeated patterns. See, one thing about arguments is that they are repeated patterns and it never changes the outcome. So if the Pisces stop debating with the person, aka arguing, and start becoming more quiet, that silence in itself replaces the conflict. Now, the next thing is that, why do Pisces stop texting first? See, one thing about it is the Pisces wants to see the effort being made between the two of you is mutual. So if a Pisces is giving, 100% and you're not giving any, then that's not going to work. Now, a Pisces can decide not to send the first message and wait to see what happens. And as a result, what ends up happening is that the Pisces learn whether the relationship is balanced or not. Now, the next thing is that, why does Pisces lose feelings in the situation, or, for a person, from a person? Well, if it's repeated disappointments that take place, that can slowly reduce the emotional investment, see, altogether. The next thing is, why do Pisces become emotionally available? It's because they may protect themselves after being hurt. See, they're going to molt, just like a spider, in other words. So they're going to, change themselves in order to protect themselves from being, hurt or vulnerable to the hurt. Now, another thing is, why do Pisces disappear? It's because the distance, it can feel easier than the constant conflict or confrontation. The next one I have is, why do Pisces stop explaining themselves? Because they may feel unheard or misunderstood after explaining themselves many times. See, so the next thing that I have is, why do Pisces become quiet? Is because the quietness, as I mentioned, the silence, it can mean that they're, thinking, reacting, processing their emotions and feelings. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces stop forgiving? It could be a situation from, the past lives, repeated patterns from the past that eventually outweigh the hope for the future or future decisions. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces stop chasing people? Okay, so here, Pisces believe that relationships should, involve both sides, meaning both of you bring 50-50 to the table. Now, why do Pisces stop trusting? Is because of the consistent actions that a Pisces would value more than repeated promises. Why do Pisces stop calling? Is because they don't want to force a connection. They want it to be natural. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces stop trying? And when this happens, it's because they feel like their effort isn't being matched. So if a Pisces dates or gets themselves into a situation, they always want a situation or a person to match their energy or be close to it. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces detach emotionally? Is because detachment can become a form of self-protection. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces walk away quietly? And it's because they oftentimes prefer peace over a dramatic exit. The next one I have is, why do Pisces stop believing words and they focus more on actions? Because they begin to pay more attention to the actions, because usually when you say something, it's just, air, it's just words, it's just your voice. But like I say, Pisces is focused on your actions and making sure you keep your word more than anything. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces stop giving chances? Is because they reach a point where the trust has been worn down. So 9 times out of 10, If it's worn down, they're not going to be able to simply give it to you. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces smile before leaving a situation or a person? Is because they may have already made peace with the decision. See, they already healed in advance. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces stop responding? And here is because a Pisces may believe that continuing the conversation won't help it. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces never come back? It's because once a Pisces truly move on, they oftentimes focus on the future instead. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces stop hoping? It's because hope fades when the same patterns repeat themselves. So that could be the case. Now, the next one I have, okay, number 22, why do Pisces stop caring what people think? It's because of the the Pisces prioritizing their own peace versus the other person. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces stop explaining themselves? It's because they realize not everyone wants to understand. And this is something to be taken into account. Now, number 24, which is the next one we'll speak about, is that why do Pisces become impossible to reach? Okay, because at this moment, at this time of their life, they may be protecting their emotional space. Now, the next one I have is, why do Pisces change forever? It's because some experiences causes a permanent change in a Pisces life. So depending on how they approach it, that also could change in regards to trust and relationships. So like, comment, share, subscribe. If you haven't, smash the like button. Leave in the comments below if you ever experienced a situation like this. I'd like to know. I love y'all. Catch y'all on next one. Peace out.